What I want to talk about in this video are paddock stands. Seems like a pretty simple topic to talk about, but what prompted me to make this video is I have some friends who are getting involved in track days for the first time. And they've been accumulating equipment, riding gear, setting up their bike and setting themselves up so that they can enjoy the track day and get the most out of it. And the questions that came up about paddock stands actually surprised me. So I thought, you know what, if they're asking questions, then other people obviously got the same questions. So in this particular video, I'm just going to have a look at the different types of paddock stands that I've had exposure to. It's not going to cover the complete range of these, but it's going to at least give you some information about the different options that you've got. So that's it. Enjoy the video. As I said in the introduction, what I'm going to focus on in this particular video is going to be an explanation or a discussion about paddock stands. Now, first of all, what is a paddock stand? Paddock stand looks something like this, and it's a device that is utilised by a motorcyclist to lift the bike up, either from the back end of the bike or at the front end. Now, why would we use a paddock stand, particularly on a track day? Well, there's a number of reasons. Number one, if you have a race bike and it passes the scrutineering for racing purposes, you're not going to have a side stand, so you need some sort of stand to hold the motorcycle. The second reason is if you're going to run tyre warmers, then you need the wheel to be off the ground and be able to rotate it to put the tyre warmer on. The third reason, you might want to make some adjustments like do a chain adjustment or even at the front end, change the position of the forks. And the final reason I can think about is you might want to change the tyres on the motorcycle. So paddock stands are generally used for those purposes. Now, the first thing I want to explain is there's generally a difference between the front and the rear. So if you're not familiar with this particular paddock stand here, this is an Oxford version. This is for the front. And the difference between the front and the rear is pretty much the width of it. So this is going to be that particular width. This was set up for the front of the S1000 Beamer we had. And this is the rear stand for the same motorcycle, and you'll see it's actually a fair bit wider. So generally the difference between the front and rear is going to be the width of the stand. Now, the other thing, and some people would pick me up on this, they'll go, yeah, but you pick them up in different ways on the front and rear as well. And that's correct, because the general way of picking it up is with that little, like a V-shaped prong that gets under the bobbins. You would use that at the rear, and then some people use this type of attachment at the front, which is an L-shaped rubber-coated device that kind of pivots and spins, and that would just sit under the caliber mounting area on the bottom of the forks, and that could also be used on the rear swing arm as well. So that's pretty much the reason for utilising these paddock stands. What I want to talk about now are the different types of paddock stands for the front and the rear. Okay, this is absolutely my favourite. It's a La Corsa brand, and this particular one is called a forklift stand, and it's for the front of a motorcycle. And we use this on the Ninja 400 for a couple of different reasons. First of all, how does it attach? Well, you see, this is not like a normal stand in that it's got, the normal stands will have some sort of arm that protrudes into the center that you can adjust in and out on each of the legs. Well, this one has got a fixed leg, and at the top of the leg, you'll see it's got a knob. And the purpose of that knob is to fit in the hole at the bottom of the fork leg on either side. So they just simply slot in the holes, and those holes are there so that a motor mechanic can get access to the bolt that retains the inner workings of the fork. So if they're servicing those, they get in through that hole under the screw, and they can pull the center, the cartridges and whatever's inside the fork leg out. So this particular one slots underneath those holes, and it's a real simple way of lifting the front of the bike. What I particularly like about this, and this would be the pro, is it's nice and slim. And if you're using tyre warmers with blankets, this is a really, really good option because the thinness of it gets it out of the way, and the blanket sits over the top because these run flush with the forks. So that would be the pro of it. The con of it is you're kind of dictated by the width of the forks here. So, this fits the Ninja 400 perfectly. But if someone were to wheel a 1390 Super Duke or something in here, then this wouldn't fit that. We'd have to either get a different brand or something, but I'd probably bend them out a little bit to make them fit. But that would be the con of these. The only other thing that's worth mentioning is this particular type of setup can be used when you're removing the wheel, but you've always got to remember it's actually bearing the load of the bike through the forks. So whilst it provides a fair degree of stability when you're taking a wheel off or putting a wheel back on, the thing you can't do, you can't make adjustments to the fork position or anything like that because you're bearing weight of the motorcycle through the forks. So there you go. That's the forklift version for the front of the motorcycle. This particular approach to the front is what you'll see here. This is an Oxford front wheel stand that we showed you a little bit earlier. Now, the difference between this and what you would normally see is the way this thing attaches to the motorcycle. So you can see instead of having some sort of U-shaped pickup device in here or a forklift or things like that, in this particular case, we've got the arm, and at the end of it is a bobbin, the bobbin that you would normally see in the swing arm. And the way it works is quite simple. It's not very common, this, but you'll see this used in World Superbike paddock and MotoGP paddock. Instead of having the bobbin sticking out of the motorcycle and then you're coming in with the little U-shaped pickup and picking it up that way, this is actually the reverse of it. This is where you've got the U-shaped device fitted to the front. And in World Superbike racing, MotoGP, you'll see these attached, right? And particularly the most common product I'm familiar with is the one made by Race Talks in United Kingdom. We had these fitted to the BMW S1000 here. So you have the U-shaped pickup on the fork sticking out from the front, just using the pinch bolts at the bottom, and then you come in with the bobbin and you just lift the bike that way. Now, not a big deal on the front. When you have this scenario on the back, you have a little pickup mounted at the back end of the swing arm or flush with the swing arm. What you're avoiding is having that bobbin sticking out on the side of the swing arm. So if this is mounted on the back swing arm and then you come in with a bobbin and pick it up, you don't have the situation where if the bike falls, the bobbin gets caught on things and causes damage to the aluminium or carbon fiber swing arm. So that's why they run that in a lot of the racing situations, like particularly World Superbike and at MotoGP. So that's an option there. And like I said, I'm not familiar where you get all the parts for that type of thing if you're running a superbike for the front end, but a site worth visiting is Race Talks in United Kingdom. Okay, this little contraption here, this is one of my favourites. It's one we use a fair bit here, particularly if we're doing maintenance on the motorcycle, but works really well on a race day or a track day. Now, this is called a head lift paddock stand. And they call it a head lift paddock stand because the way it's set up, you've got a fair bit of steel here and you've got this moving or swinging U-shaped area that is bent over with a protrusion, and at the end of that protrusion there is a let's call it a sleeve that's removable, and these particular devices come with a range of different sizes. And the reason they do that is that area there, that sleeve, is what slots underneath the lower triple clamp through the head stem. The head stems generally have a hole in them. They vary in size. That's why they give you a variety of sizes here. Now, the advantage of this particular device here is, first of all, if you're doing any work on the front end of the motorcycle, provides a really stable platform, and it lifts the bike from the head stem and removes the weight from the forks and the wheels. So if you want to make any adjustments to the forks or even pull the forks out and do some work on them, this particular device is the way to go because it's holding the bike through the head stem. Now, the other thing about these is they work well with tyre warmers, with blankets that you run over the rear wheel. They don't get in the way there because they're not connected to the fork or the wheel in any particular way. So generally, pretty similar price to a premium paddock stand, but a very good option there over and above, some of the other options there, particularly if you're going to do work on the motorcycle. While we're talking about the front, it's worth mentioning that these stands, and you saw the Oxford stand that I had a little bit earlier, they're a premium stand and they come with a range of different fittings. So they'll come with the U-shaped pickup, which just slots in and can be adjusted in and out to adapt to the width of the motorcycle. But the Oxford also comes with this particular device, which is meant to sit underneath the front area. So if you've got a bike that's got twin discs, twin calipers, it's going to be mirror image on both sides. And where the caliper actually mounts against the bottom of the fork leg, then this can sit under there. It can just slide in, sit under it and lift the bike. And the alternative to that is the one, as I showed earlier, which is the L-shaped bracket. And both of those will do the same thing. These particular ones can also be used on the rear to pick up the bike through the swing arm or underneath the swing arm and that type of thing. So that works on certain bikes as well. So I know we use this one on the dirt bike or the motard on certain occasions, but that's just some options about how the paddock stand would actually attach to the front of the motorcycle. So we need to go and have a look at the back. Okay, talking about the back here, the most common setup that people have is where you utilise the pre-drill hole, pre-threaded holes on the sides of the swing arm, and you just put a bobbin in there. And the purpose of that bobbin is to give you a lifting point. You get your paddock stand, which has got the U-shaped pickup here, and you simply come along, you just hook it underneath the bobbin, and then you lift the bike. And the weight of the bike is being supported through the swing arm and the suspension. So that particular scenario works really well. It gives you the opportunity to adjust the chain, put tyre warmers on here, take the rear wheel off without any compromise to the stability of the motorbike, change the gearing, change the tyres, whatever you want to do there. Now, in some cases, they change that scenario. So in this particular bike, I don't have a problem with the bobbin, right? It sticks out a little bit, but at the back here, we've got a crash knob that attaches to the axle. So it sticks out with a big rubber, a big plastic head on it. And you've got the rear sets up here. So all of this stuff's going to hit the bitumen before that bobbin there. Now, in some of the paddocks, World Superbike, MotoGP, for example, they actually reverse it. They go, we don't want the bobbin sticking out because it can compromise the swing arm in a crash. So what they do is they get rid of that and they replace it with a flush-mounted U-shaped pickup mechanism. And Light Tech chain adjusters, which we had on the BMW, comes with a kit that optional kit that can be attached on the back, and it just puts that little pickup right at the back of the swing arm there. And it works perfectly because all you simply now have is a flush mounted pickup point, and then you just reverse it. You put the bobbin on the adjustable arm on the paddock stand itself, and you just come along, hook it underneath and lift it up. And they work really well. And like I said, you'll see that in racing scenarios. Now, the other thing worth mentioning is some of the stands, like I said, the Oxford stands that we've got comes with a range of different attachments. You know, the L-shape attachment here like this, and then you've got this pivoting one here with got two flats or two rounds sticking out and a big flat guide to prevent it going too far. Okay, they could be used to pick up, right? You could get it under here somewhere. This one's probably going to be a better, right? You'd fit it in here and you could lift the bike up in that particular way. I don't particularly like those if you can avoid them. You know, not as secure as the bobbin scenario. And the second thing is they can create problems in that if you look at this particular one, if I just poke it in here flush with the swing arm itself, well, now I can't rotate the wheel because it sticks in so far, it interferes with the freedom of this wheel to move by getting in between the sprocket nuts. So yes, it's an option, but it's not the preferred option. And then, you know, you get set up for a racing, you put a fin on the back here to protect your chain, you know, you put a bunch of stuff in here to protect them when it crashes. Yeah, suddenly you can't use those devices anyway. But there you go. That is the rear of the bike. Well, there you go. That's all I've got. A pretty simple topic, and I hope that in the course of this video, I've answered the common questions that you might have had about paddock stands in particular. Now, whether or not you actually use them, it's entirely up to you. It's going to depend on your particular needs and what you plan to do from a track day perspective. But if you want to make adjustments to your bike, you want to change tyres, you want to put tyre warmers and things like that on, then you're going to need to have paddock stands. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, if you know people getting involved in track days for the first time, please share this playlist or this video with them, because it would be fantastic if we could help them get the most out of their track day adventure. So that's it. I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching.